Go back up into the face here. There's a few more things that are jumping out, so we're going to just smooth those out. Going to work through the entire image again. Do some finalizing. We want to be happy with the image when we're done with it, so we're just going to go back through it again, see what's jumping out at us, and fix it. We can darken it again to see if anything else stands out that we might have missed. Now I've held on to a lot of texture here in the skin. You can soften it more if you want it to be softer. I've held on to quite a bit. So we're just going to go through it now, and by burning and dodging these larger areas with a bigger brush, I'm emphasizing the shape, the way that the light is hitting her face, the bone structure. This big brush now, I'm going to go back over it and really highlight those areas. By working on it from afar like this, you can see what's uneven. So basically what I'm seeing is that her shoulder and her arm are much darker than her face, and her hand is totally different color than her face. We want it to all be neutrally balanced. So I'm going to lighten her arm a little bit here in certain areas, the large dodge and burn brush. It's important to work close up and far away. That way, when you're done with the image, it really looks good from both afar and up close, because who knows, it might end up being printed poster size and you're going to need it to look good close up as well as from afar. It could be a billboard, it could be anything that you're working on. So now it's looking pretty good. I might do a few more color tweaks now that I've been working on it. I can see the color a little bit differently. It's looking pretty good. You can see all this texture that I've held on to. Most of the time you might need to go softer than this. The way to do that, you could just set your clone stamp to lighten, like we were doing, and go over these areas several more times. Lighten some of that darkness up. You still want to have some texture. So we're going to do that now. We're going to go through it on lighten. And just lighten up this texture a little bit. We don't want to lose it completely though. So we're just going to, by lightening the dark areas, it's just going to look smoother. You'll still see some of it, but it won't look so much like how dry, the skin won't look so dry. Just click on and off, we can see what we've done. It's really up to you how far you want to take an image. Once you get it to this point, this is kind of the foundation point where it's looking pretty good, and then you can take it as far as you want from here. I'm just smoothing it out now with the brush set to lighten, the clone stamp brush set to lighten. I'm going to burn and dodge some areas here. It's a good idea to study the shortcuts in Photoshop. It'll save you so much time. J is the keyboard command to go to healing brush. S to go to the clone stamp. Those things are going to help you out a lot. So just dodge and burn a little bit. Just going over what we did before. Make it a little bit more dramatic. Re-emphasize some of these areas. Remove some of these cracks in her lip a little bit. Just going over the whole image again. Another key command is your brackets. Those make your brush smaller and larger as you go, so you don't need to always right click to get to your brush palette. You can just bracket up or bracket down and your brush will get larger and smaller. It speeds things up when you're working. I use that all the time. So we're just doing some more burning and dodging here, cleaning it up, balancing out these areas, spending a little time on them since we spent most of the time on the face. We want to balance this area so that it matches the face. We also want the emphasis to be on the face though, so that's why we spent so much time there, but we do want it to be balanced. So we're going to just go through it and clean it up. Take some of these hairs out that might be distracting us from our focal point. Lining the brush up so that the background hairs stay intact. We don't want to have any weird jumping around lines. We want it to look like each hair is one line there. Let's zoom out and take a look at what we got here. It's looking a lot better. It's looking pretty good.